Hi, I'm Jason Sparrow, CEO and co-founder of Aegis Software. I'm happy to be here today at Simio Sync to introduce myself and to share how excited I am that Simio entered 2026 as an Aegis company. You're here at Simio Sync because you already know the power of Simio technology and the innovators behind it and the team that delivers it and supports it. Aegis saw that exact same value in Simio when we came together. And now, as one company going forward, we're bringing a solution of unparalleled capability and scope to market. Now, let's talk a little bit about what that actually means.
Here are the topics I'll be covering in this keynote. First, a bit about Aegis Software as a company and the solution platform Aegis brings to market. Then, how that solution platform evolved over time and aligned with the technology created by Simio. Finally, I'll answer some of the common questions that you may have. FactoryLogix is a solution platform provided by Aegis, but what is it? Typically, it is referred to as an MES system, which is Manufacturing Execution System, or sometimes MOM or MOM, which is Manufacturing Operations Management. The latter being a more appropriate term because it's broader than simply tracking and tracing the movement of products in production. A system of this nature enables better quality and performance outcomes for manufacturers by bringing greater speed, control over the process, and visibility to everything that's happening in the operation. Today, FactoryLogix is helping over 2,200 factory sites around the world be more productive and successful. Let's take a look at what FactoryLogix does in a manufacturing operation. Depicted here are the major functional areas of the platform when applied across an operation. In its fullest form, it improves every aspect of production and the material flows supporting it. Of particular note is the Manufacturing Engineering Office at the lower left, where the product's design data, whether from a customer or the R&D department of the manufacturer itself, comes in and it is transformed into everything needed for production. FactoryLogix acts as a bridge from R&D to the shop floor, leveraging the CAD design to create everything needed for production, such as visual aids to support the work of operators, the quality plan, the routing, all the logical decisions and reroutings that may occur in the process, the materials used, and so forth. It then tracks, traces, and controls the execution of the process throughout the factory. But there's also another axis in an operation that it helps, which is material flow. From incoming inspection of materials from the loading dock, it interfaces with ERP to augment the handling of material flow from the dock to the warehouse, to the floor and back in a lean manner. Then it manages the flow of all product all the way out to the packing and shipping process. However, now these capabilities have expanded enormously with the inclusion of Simio. FactoryLogix users now have access to advanced planning and scheduling powered by Simio Digital Twin Simulation, and I'll explain more about this later. Now for a bit about Aegis as a company. We have a global footprint with local direct support for our customers around the world. Corporate headquarters is outside Philadelphia. We have a UK regional office, and our European central office is in Nuremberg, Germany, with Asia operations as well. And of course, now we're pleased to have the Simio office in Pittsburgh as one of our locations. The value of this for our customers is that Aegis professional services are delivered by direct staff from the customer's continental region, closer to our customers by distance, language, and culture. We also have personnel around the world operating out of their home offices, offering even more local resources when required. Next, I'll discuss how Aegis product history and development aligned with Simio technologically over time. Aegis has a 30-year history. Our products originally began as CAD/CAM software tools. Those early offerings converted bills of materials and the CAD design of products into everything needed to support the shop floor, but did not operate within the production process itself. Evolution into an MES solution began in 2000 with significant capability and technology expansions over time. The start of this timeline reveals something key. The design of all Aegis products have centered around both the CAD design data, which is the knowledge of the actual design of the product that's being manufactured, and also the routing and the layout of the factory through which it is manufactured. Therefore, the foundation of Aegis products has always been the digital twin of product and process. But FactoryLogix could not bring those twins alive. More on that in a bit. In summary, it is the product and process twin of FactoryLogix and the digital twin foundation of Simio that ultimately made the solutions perfect fits for one another. In addition to being built on the digital twin of the product design and factory process, as FactoryLogix operates in manufacturing, it collects an enormous amount of data that it relates to those twins. The first data source is shown here at the bottom. IoT data connectors to machines throughout production bring in the real-time data of what those machines are doing and what is actually occurring in production at every moment. The next layer involves data from the business systems, ERP, training platforms, asset management, etc. Systems with valuable information then is also knitted together with the FactoryLogix twins. And of course, there is the design data that is absolutely essential to place in the core data model because everything that occurs in production must be contextualized to it. And the one layer that is strangely but often forgotten in digital discussions is the fact that people have a major role in production. They, when interacting with FactoryLogix portals, effectively become data generators. Their activities are also a critical part of the data contextualized model. The ultimate result of all of this is a complete digital process and product data twin that FactoryLogix is maintaining and augmenting as production proceeds. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the Simio and FactoryLogix approaches to building solutions around digital twins align the two businesses and technologies naturally. The contextualized digital twin in FactoryLogix can be consumed by Simio, providing the data that it needs to bring those digital twins alive and project them into the future. Further, Simio can achieve this in a FactoryLogix operation without initial setup, because FactoryLogix already has the data to provide what Simio needs. This enables customers to benefit from certain Simio capabilities very, very rapidly if they're already using FactoryLogix or if they intend to. The final topic includes answers to common questions you might have. Question might be, why is Simio now an Aegis company? Well, the best way to answer that question might be to explain what FactoryLogix could do before Simio and what it can do now. Before Simio, FactoryLogix could enable customers to know the past. By its operation in production, it forms a complete traceability model of everything that occurred to the product and all the product content. It has the entire process history, the materials history, and everything needed to be audit ready should a recall occur. It delivers the complete view into the past for customers. It has also given manufacturing users mastery over the present. It's monitoring, tracking, and controlling the flow of production. It validates everything happening in real time and then records every activity on the product at each process step. However, what it could not do for manufacturers is predict the future. But now it can with Simio. Where before it could not look forward and tell the user what would happen if they did X or Y, it can now. Where it once could not simulate scenarios in production before they committed, nor could it tell them how to best plan the factory itself or assess capacity or create schedules looking forward, it can now. Where FactoryLogix once fell short in the ability to simulate and plan and schedule production, Simio provides the leading technology for that capability. What's more, because of the aligned design philosophies of the formerly separate businesses, the integration is elegant and was rapidly achieved. The next question might be, I get that Aegis has helped manufacturers, but I don't use Simio for a factory. What does this mean to me? I've brought that view we saw before of how factory logics impacts a production environment to help answer that question. Simio digital twin simulation is used by many outside of manufacturing, of course. However, the engine of its simulation is literally the engine of the planning and scheduling solution as well. They cannot be separated. Put differently, the capability that most manufacturers want in factory logics via Simio is completely dependent upon the simulation engine, which is used in endless applications, ones completely unrelated to manufacturing every day around the world. This is only one reason Aegis is investing in the continued evolution of Simio simulation technology. There is another. Aegis can now address and serve a far wider scope of markets than we could before. The simulation-centric customers are an exciting and new market expansion for the business, and one we are and look forward to investing in to continue to serve you well. In summary, for strategic, product, and technological reasons, the forward evolution of Simio technology is of utmost importance to Aegis. A final question you may have is probably the most important one, and that is, what is the value to me? Well, the answer depends on how you use or intend to use Simio. First, for all Simio users, whether in manufacturing or not, Simio is now part of a larger company. I spoke earlier about the Aegis global presence, which is a benefit to multinational users. As an example, Aegis also brings resources that enable increased investment, which we are doing already and are intending to continue to do. And then there are the expanded capabilities you can see in the future. Aegis is growing and expanding its existing product sets and adding new offerings. Our roadmap has always been guided by the market, but mainly our customers, and we look forward to bringing more solutions to benefit your businesses as we go forward. And now let me speak to the value for those seeking the capability of Simio for manufacturing, either existing factory logics customers or those who might be considering factory logics. You gain the value discussed for all Simio users that I just mentioned, but also the power of a single platform combining production execution and the world-class planning and simulation technology of Simio.
Thank you for the opportunity to explain Aegis' history and solutions. We are all excited for Simio simulation to continue to evolve and serve all markets, and to take its place as a critical part of the Factory Logics platform. And most of all, thank you for attending Simio Sync 2026.